Hi, little review today. New knife picked up through Heaney Haynes. This is the BOKER plus Barlow. Now, as you would come to expect from BOKER, most of their knives come in this quite nice sort of magnetic closure box. Comes with a little note which is about warranty and maintenance. Nothing normally specifically about the knife, and then the knife itself. So quite nice packaging overall, but standard fare from BOKER. Now the knife is something which has interested me for a little while. It's a Barlow, which is a US pattern, I understand, and typically it means that it's a two-bladed knife with a tear-shaped handle and a large bolster. I also believe that Barlow was a company which specialised in this design, so not sure if there's a mixed history on it, but certainly something that I'd been interested in because I've not really had many sort of traditional pattern pocket knives, and this was something which interested me. Now the Barlow pattern is available from hundreds, dozens of different manufacturers. Some of the big well-known US brands such as Case, Queen Cutlery, GEC and all that sort of bunch. A multitude of different price points, but this came in pretty reasonably priced. I think it was below £30, and it was from BOKER, so I kind of knew what I was going to get. Now some people might sort of say, well, you don't quite know what you're going to get with BOKER Plus because there's a sort of some conversations about the sort of quality control, but I've never found that to be the case. Certainly the examples that I've had, the XS, very well known knife there, the Nano 42, they've always been really nice knives and I've never had any concerns about the quality. I've also had their Quaken flipper, which is really nice, but now moved on because I just wasn't using it. So this is the Barlow. I think it looks pretty elegant. It's a nice pocketable size, very similar to the Victorinox Waiter, which is something which finds its way into my pocket very regularly. And to be honest, I don't think it's awfully threatening. It's not a knife which would cause concern, I don't think. It's quite elegant, quite gentlemanly, quite people friendly. So onto the blades and the steel. Well, the steel is BOKER's fairly standard 440C. Again, not a sexy sort of blade steel, but a perfectly serviceable one, and one that BOKER quite clearly can process and heat treat very effectively. As I say, it's got two blades. The primary blade being this clip point, coming in just under 3 inches, with an extended sort of nail nick, and the second being a drop point little blade, much smaller, and I'd suggest, I think traditionally that little blade would be used for sharpening pencils and sort of day-to-day sort of rough and ready tasks like that. The one criticism I have of this knife really does come in around the blades and the nail nicks. Because they're supported with a reasonably firm back spring, the primary blade there, the nail nick is sort of hidden. Whilst it's an extended nail nick, it is hidden behind this second blade, so it's not always easiest to get to. It'd be quite nice, I would have thought, to have a further nail nick on that side so you could approach it from either side should you wish. And that's really the only issue I have. The ergonomics are pretty good. Small knife, but as you see there, your finger sort of falls into that sort of choil area there, making for quite a firm purchase. Fairly good back spring there, isn't going to close on your hand, and it's looking pretty good. I mean, one concern I always had was that you've got the two blades, the second always being closed, and would that interfere with the comfort of the knife? Bearing in mind it's not a sort of heavy duty knife, but would it interfere? And I really don't think it does. Even if you swap them around and go for the smaller blade, you can feel that secondary, the primary blade tucked away there, but it doesn't seem to become much of an issue. There's no sharp edges on it. It's pretty good. So the fit and finish is where this knife really sort of comes into its own, I think. You know, I really like the jigged bone, and we'll come in for some close-ups in a minute. But the jigged bone is very nicely finished. The transitions into the bolster are, you can feel them, but they're not poorly finished. They're quite nice and smooth. On the spine, you've got your 2 back springs, your brass liners, and your bolster plates there, and your jig bone scales, and it is really nicely smooth all the way around. I like the coloration of these scales. They're not sort of that neon colour that you get sometimes. They're very organic looking. You can see a little bit of grain, which I'll show you on the close-up, but it's sort of reassuringly natural, and I think it looks really quite nice. Okay, just coming in for a little close-up here, just to show you the fit and finish. As you can see, nicely jigged bolsters with the sort of natural grain I referred to, and a nice smooth transition into the bolsters. Nice little sort of crest there on one side. Pins finish nicely. Liners flush. Blades centered, yep. And as you open it, see what I mean about the nail nick. There you go. Still nicely flush. There's a primary blade. Secondary blade. Nicely finished little knife. Okay, little quick side-by-side size comparison. You've got the little Barlow there. Very similarly sized Victorinox waiter. Medium-sized Swiss Army knife. Full-size Swiss Army knife. Then some other fairly familiar UK-friendly blades there. The Spider Pico UK Pingo, UK PK Pingo, BOKER XS, BOKER Plus Nano. Just quickly open them up. As you can see, one of the smaller, more pocket-friendly UK pocket knives. Okay, wrapping up now. Overall, I think this is a really nice little knife, nice little addition to a UK-friendly collection, I think. And I'm pretty happy that I've been able to take a look at this, and I think it's a good addition to a collection. Yeah, really pleased. I think the quality for the price is great. And I hope that's useful. Okay, bye-bye.